As you can see, I've been studying this for a very long time. It's become almost like an obsession for me. What's called natural health supplements, natural oral care products, normal oral care products, normal health supplements. So I'm not into food manufacturing per se yet. I'm not into medications or drugs manufacturing either. I mean, in that middle segment, analyzing it, doing whatever I can do better, but also studying and recommending and speaking up and informing about things that I don't intend to make or do, but at least become more aware, which is that middle section of unregulated health segment for use on a daily basis. And a lot of colleagues now ask for my opinion. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And can you help us analyze this? And it's really simple once you start to get into it. It becomes quite simple because you see the ingredients and you put them together and you know from what you've already studied and experienced that is this good or not good, mostly good or mostly bad. Not everything is good or bad, but mostly good or mostly not good for daily use. So things to look for in any toothpaste, natural or unnatural, because as I've shown you, they're more similar than different actually, is definitely the abrasives. Silica or hydrated silica are both the same thing basically. That's how they put it on there. A better form of silica actually, if somebody's going to use silica, is diatomaceous earth, which is pure and organic and very fine and non-abrasive, and you only use a little bit of that, not as much silica as you put in here. But again, let's leave that on the side for now. So usually it's silica, calcium carbonate. These are the abrasives that I would like you to avoid, or any other abrasives. Some have plastic beads, plastic micro beads in there as abrasives. That's even worse. Not just worse for us internally as we use it, it's horrible for the environment out there. What we put out there into the environment, that obviously comes back to us manyfold as human beings. Once we damage that, it damages us. So these are the abrasives. The soaps, detergents, if it foams, it's bad, period. If it foams, it's bad, end of story. Sodium sulfate, definitely not good. Any other foaming agent, just avoid it, please. And research what I'm saying. Don't believe me, as I always say. Don't believe me, believe yourself. Believe with me only after you've analyzed, thought of this, especially if you go like, whoa, I've been doing this for so many years, he can't be right. Well, I might not be right, but also I might be. Nobody's all right or all wrong. Check it out for yourself, analyze it, think about it, and then make your own choice. That's the most important thing. You make your own informed choice. I have no right over anybody else, and nobody has any right to tell me what I should think either. It's all about choices. Therefore, foaming agents, abrasives, no good. Other things are saccharine, sucralose, aspartame, all these artificial sweeteners, which are very common in a lot of these products, so-called natural and unnatural. Horrible stuff. We should not be consuming that or giving it to our kids or children or infants on a daily basis. Xylitol, a lot of them contain a lot of xylitol, which I love. Actually, all of our products have a lot of xylitol in them, actually a lot. Like, I mean, the highest concentration of xylitol in the world out of all ingredients. However, when you read them, you really want to know, where is that xylitol coming from? Is it from corn, GMO corn xylitol? Like this one says here, xylitol from, somewhere it said that in there, from birch trees or corn. As soon as they say or corn, it means they're using the corn one because it's cheaper. And I know that. I've been buying both and seeking both for a long time. And I know how cheap corn xylitol is. It's not very cheap compared to sugar, but it's much cheaper than birch xylitol. And that's all we use. For the last 10 years, all we've ever used is birch xylitol because that's, you can consider it organic because it's from the bark of birchwood trees. It's from Finland, it's not from corn, it is not GMO, and actually the content, so the source of the xylitol, this is what I'm talking about. Xylitol is great, yes. In what quantity, in what frequency, and what's the source of it, and how is it mixed up? You've got to understand all these things. So if it's corn xylitol, it's bad, or not as good as, not as clean as birch xylitol. And then the concentration. If it contains xylitol, as a lot of them put in there to claim it contains xylitol, because there's 30 years of xylitol research, or 40 now, amazing stuff about it. Most of it from Finland, on the birch xylitol, by the way. They put it there as a claim, but it's one of the smaller ingredients. We have, in the serums, a third of the serum, literally 1/3 of this serum is birch xylitol. Please be careful when you analyze or read what ingredients. ask and think how much, how good, and what's the source of that ingredient. Titanium dioxide, I spoke about that before. Now, please be aware, become aware, not beware, don't be scared, just be aware, become more aware of what you're doing, and if you haven't done the best that you believe in, you can always do better in future, it's okay. That the color in the pastes is always something to be questioned. If they're opaque white, like I showed you before, that's titanium dioxide, that's bad already. However, if it's another color, if it's blue, if it's bright blue, you've got to ask what kind of blue is that? If it's red, what kind of red is that? For example, this one, which is not a natural toothpaste, it's conventional toothpaste, says advanced health or whatever. I made a whole video about this one actually, and how it's banned in the United States under another brand, same owner, same company obviously, same corporate, but just different brand, banned in the United States in this format, brought it over to the rest of the world. The blue that's in here, the blue color that makes it so bright blue, is copper phthalocyanide. Highly abrasive plastic microbeads with copper phthalocyanide in it. Now, that's one thing that I want you to check in any product that you use. What is the color in there? And do we need colors in products? We don't add any colors in here. It should be just natural. The goldy color that you see in there is from the totara tree, which is a brownish wood extract basically that gives it this golden color, this golden hue. That's about it, but it's not used as a color. It's just what happens when we mix it with the oils. You don't need colors. You don't need anything that is not natural to the human body or to the environment at large. So check out the colors. If they're white, that's opaque white, that's a problem. If they're fancy colors, just go away from them basically, move away from them. That one there hopefully doesn't have any colors. It doesn't say so, except, it has copper chlorophyllene, that's fine. That's copper is not too bad in low quantities, and chlorophyll is good. Glycerin, source of glycerin. Is it propylene glycol, petrochemical glycerin, or is it coconut glycerin, or is it other vegetable glycerin? Ask the question, find out. We only use the organic, pure organic coconut glycerin and organic coconut oil and organic cocoa butter as the main humectants, and also you can't call them surfactants. They're not surfactants really. They act like surfactants. They bind things together. They carry other stuff with them, but they also stick to biofilm to make it unsticky basically. They penetrate through the biofilm to unstick it away, as well as adhere and heal gums and skin, help nourish and soothe and heal all that, as well as carry through the fat-soluble vitamins, the vitamin D3 and vitamin K2, which are in no other product anyway. That's totally unique to my serums, those vitamins, and actually the cocoa butter. I mean, have you ever heard of an oral care product with cocoa butter? I haven't, but it's there for a reason as part of the formulation. Talking about cocoa butter, this extremely expensive toothpaste from the United States says fluoride-free toothpaste with Renew from chocolate, the sweetest discovery. They made a big story about theobromine, which is an extract from the cocoa plant, from the cocoa seed basically. Theobromine is an alkaloid that, like caffeine, gives us this stimulant effect, this happy mood effect, but unlike caffeine, it doesn't spike up and spike down. It's much more smooth, safer for kids and all that. It's basically the real happy part of real cocoa, which creates this good feeling inside of our bodies, and also has other benefits in it. We won't talk about chocolate now because we did go and mess that up with all the sugars and the milks and everything else we put into it, but let's stick with this here, just the theobromine. Theobromine has been found to be also highly antibacterial, especially against tooth decay bacteria, and helps balance the biofilm within the mouth and the gut. So it's not just a brain thing or an emotional feel like we just said with the cocoa, it makes you feel good. It actually has direct health benefits inside the mouth and inside the guts. Very good research, and these people got onto that, and that's wonderful. They put it in this toothpaste, however, and they took out the fluoride. However, they didn't take out any of the other horrible stuff, the titanium dioxide, the soaps, the saccharine, everything else. So we also have theobromine in the cocoa butter in our product, but it's just the pure theobromine. It's not aspartame, saccharine, like I showed you before, the white paste that you can see in there, the titanium dioxide and all these things. So again, one great research or a bunch of great research one wonderful ingredient. No one ingredient does everything, by the way. So baking soda is fantastic, coconut oil is fantastic, theobromine is fantastic, but not xylitol is fantastic. But by themselves, they don't do everything. You can't just say, I'll just use that and it's going to do everything in my mouth. It won't. It's part of a whole formulation. So one good research, found out about theobromine, went and put it into a product, excellent idea, but then the application wasn't really that innovative because it's just a normal standard toothpaste, just like any other natural or conventional toothpaste with the core ingredients of abrasiveness, soapiness, titanium dioxide for whitening, glycerine, and all the other stuff that's in there, and just one fancy ingredient. That won't make all the difference in the world. That won't, in my books, this is not that distinct to anything else that's on here. And when it comes to patents as well, and innovation, like they say, they patented formulation or whatever, I applied for patents, and I defended my patents since 2011. That's 7, 8, this is the 8th year now. But this year I'm going to drop them because it doesn't matter. Actually, I want to share my knowledge with the world. I'm not here to defend myself or defend anything else. And whatever you try to patent, you're patenting one little idea, one little aspect. But we're not looking for the one thing that makes all the difference. We're looking for everything that makes the big difference. So they're using theobromine in a special formulation that they've patented. Well, nobody can copy that. They might go and sue them. But for me, I'm using theobromine anyway, but just as the pure theobromine in a totally different formulation. That's not contradicting, that's just different. So the ingredients, the xylitol, the coconut oil, the cocoa butter, the theobromine, the calcium glycerophosphate, the nanohydroxyapatite, these things cannot be patented. It's just how you combine them. These are ingredients, and if they're not natural and food grade and already researched, already known, well, why are we using them in the first place? So they can't be patented, they can't be protected as individual ingredients. The formulation can be, but then so what, in my opinion? Anyway, somebody's going to copy something, and if it's going to help us become better and do better and grow as a human species and as professionals, as well as the people whom we serve, let's do it. Let's all do better together. So next video is going to be about toothbrushes, how to select your toothbrush, what's good, what's bad. I hope you got the gist of this talk about toothpastes, especially or specifically about so-called natural toothpastes and how they're not really that different from conventional toothpastes. And most of them are owned by other corporates that own other brands anyway. For example, this one here is owned by this one here. I don't have to mention the names, but if you look it up, it's super natural, super healthy, super this, super that, even though it isn't really by the ingredients that it contains and the effects that it has. And yet it's simultaneously owned by a very big corporate that makes very common conventional toothpastes, and whichever side you go, it's all kind of becoming quite a bit of a play these days. I don't like playing. I like to be honest, tell you what it is, tell you what I think, tell you what I know. Can I do something better with it for you? If you like it, great. If you don't like it, I have no control over that at all. Everybody makes their own, and even if you go and make your own stuff at home and make it safer, as I've showed in my past videos, I'll probably share those again because I did those a few years ago. Just how to mix up your own toothpaste, even though it's only toothpaste, I don't make toothpaste, at home. It's possible, everything's possible. Just look, you can cook everything at home. Some people prefer to go and buy healthy, good stuff in somewhere that's ready-made or in a restaurant that will cook it beautifully for them. But you can also make it at home. So I'll show you some tips and tricks of what you can make at home if you have no access or ability to buy good, valuable, healthy products. At least make some natural, healthy options for yourself at home. Until I see you next time, please always aim to look better, feel better, and be better. Thank you.